All right, fellow traders, let's take a look at our trades for today. Not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about USO. I did end up getting out of USO. Thankfully, I got out at in the threes here rather than some of this price action. I mean, what a volatile day. And we'll talk more about USO when we go over the market, right? But I mean, really, just my God, right? When we think about USO, this is one that it's going to feel really good to just go ahead and sleep off and make it those things where we call it a day, call it a mistake. Massive candle all the way down to the low 220s. We're just going to chalk it up for what it was, and that was a loss. That's how I'm looking at it. So that's how I'd encourage you to look at it as well. So let's go into some of our other trades today. Let's go into our Analyze tab. We're just going to go ahead and go into our positions. Let's start with TLT. So we traded two in TLT today, as you can see. Got a little bit of downside ability. Here's something that I very much recognize as true, right? So with TLT, when we look at bonds, we're waiting for TLT to come back to us. So when we're looking at bonds, right, bonds have been moving up pretty significantly over the last little bit. We are challenged up here on our call side. Now, again, with this position, what we understand is that we've moved it up from the low 130s, right, to this 150, 158, 153 initial position. And so at some point, we may have to continue to move up, right? And right now it's showing that we have, let's actually get rid of this position. Right now it's showing us at 352 risk for 148 in profit. We know that that's not accurate because, again, we've already brought in profit. And so we might end up having to move this to 165, 160, or a 170, 165, and just make it a super tight iron condor or iron butterfly to continue to bring in premium. What I did here, though, is I went ahead and laddered, right? We are at the expected move here. So we entered this position at the expected move somewhere, in this area. Expected move was at one point all the way down here. We got out of that position and rolled up. So at 171.21 minus 15, right? So we go down to 156. So we're right there at the expected move on that end. So what did I do here? I took that 171, I added 15, and I got about 185. So I went ahead and laddered into a 185 position. I got 50 cents of credit for that. We're going to look to take that off at 5 cents because I think that that's likely something that we'll be able to get off. Going to continue to let this decay a little bit and see if we have to continue to adjust. So there is our vertical ladder that we talked about. So we talked about USO. We talked about our vertical ladder. Let's go to July TLT. Really what we're seeing is almost exactly the same thing here. 132, 168, that's our credit. We went out to this expected move. So we're at essentially 170. Let's just say 170 minus 18. We get to 155. Again, I think that we're likely bullish. Let's see if let's see if I can just get a chart to pull up. I don't know what TLT is doing. Let's bring up GDX here and go TLT. Yep. So I think we're going to continue to stay bullish in TLT. All right. We can, though. Let's update these settings here. Now let's go time axis, expansion area. We'll just go 50 to the right, click apply, and we are messing up. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, this is our first position. Our 192 is way up here, so it's kind of off the charts right now. But we're going to be able to have TLT stay between this range, and if we do, we're going to profit on this. Back to the trade tab, we have 170, we go up to 190, so we're actually further out right now than the expected move, which is good, right? If we're bullish, it's good to be a little bit further out than the expected move, and so pretty easy here in TLT, just going out past the expected move. Okay, So we go here. That's our TLT new July position. Let's go to XRT. So XRT. We took out this 44.46 call and we moved it down to 38.40 to get a little bit more in premium. This is in June, and so as you can see, I mean, we're still actually sitting somewhat nicely here in June. Didn't really do a heck of a whole lot here on our in our position, right? So we do have this right here, and so we'll just continue to try to get this off for a profit. I think we brought in a total of 80 cents in credit or so, and we're trying to get it off for 50, so a little bit less than 50% since we've adjusted, of course. All right, so let's go into our S&P 500 ETF SPY and take a look at this new July position. All right, bringing up S&P 500. We're going to get rid of this shorter May 15th position. Let's go to, all right, so huge break even here. We're going to set our slices here. I'm going to have to update this to July. And we're going to have to add, okay, so we would have to add, suffice it to say that this is a significant, very wide, right? 205, 310, 305, 310. $100 wide, $95, technically 305 to 210. $95 wide S&P 500 Iron Condor. We already now have, and this is very important, we already have traded one Iron Condor, got 50% profit, or about 90 cents per contract on the previous one. We got this for 202 today in credit, and we are looking for a total of $1.02 in profit. So we're gonna go ahead and just let this trade play out. As you can see, 202 in credit. And so these are our trades for today. If you have any questions about any of these specific trades, please reach out to me. Again, you know, I think the lesson that I've got to continue to learn, right, is as I think about my lessons, specifically when I think about VXX earlier and then now USO. I like trading iron condors, right? I like trading iron butterflies because it inherently keeps me a little bit smaller, right? It inherently keeps me smaller, and I'm able to adjust a little bit more effectively these positions, knowing that I'm small and knowing that I can continue to build credit, right? Now, could I have, defended some of these trades? Absolutely. I could have defended some of these trades, but that it takes a skill set, right? It takes a skill set that not a lot of people have. It takes a skill set that I don't even know that I have right now. You know, I'm watching, I'm learning, I'm developing. I think that I have an incredible handle on situations, right? And the mathematical side of expected moves, of markets, of taking a look at some of our pretty stable ETFs, right? I think it's these black swan events that I like to get in and think that there's some level of rationality to what's going on. And I think that's what bit me in USO, right? I knew USO was going to go down, but I did not realize the veracity with which entire countries, and not just any countries, right? The U.S. oil fund, I didn't realize the veracity with which we would see such a strong move. And I think that's where I get in trouble as I think about my own account, as I think about how I trade. It's where when I stay solvent, when I stay in the game, I very much see significant, and really, really good trading. So those are my thoughts on USO as we go in. I'm going to continue to sell this premium, and I'm going to continue to bring it in. And I've got to be tighter. I've got to continue to be tighter. I've got to continue to trade well, and that's really where I'm at. All right, if you have any questions, again, reach out to me. Otherwise, let's keep trading.